Welcome to Sports Close-Up. I'm Ed Marin, my co-host John Matillo. We're here interviewing the Meadville baseball. From John's right, we have the manager, Tony the Diesel Tartaglione, and the assistant / pitching coach, Dean Wood. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Now you're taking over a baseball team, looks pretty young. How long you been in the system before you took over, being the manager this year?
This 3 years now. With COVID, we lost last year, so I'm going to call it 2 years. I've been in high school system. The young kids, MAYBS, T-ball, it's probably 10 years now. So.
I see you guys have been pretty successful with you coming up throughout the years, coaching it, down below and working your way up. Was you excited to take over this role?
Absolutely, I was. It's a new era. We're going to do some things a little different and pick up where Coach Stewart left off. He did a great job for 8 years. He got it to where it is now, and then we're going to keep going and hopefully do a lot more good things with it.
Tony, the facility looks wonderful. What's that?
Well, new lighting. Heather, our booster president, she arranged, got new lighting in. We had it cleaned, shampooed, turfed, and just pick up after yourself.
I think this is about the 20th year for this facility.
Yep.
And I see you guys are going to have a maintenance of the field this year.
We are, and again, that's in our booster's hand, and it's still in process, but we are going to get the infield redone.
Good.
Dugouts redone.
Because we do have a nice facility.
Sure.
I mean, not a lot of high school teams have this much area because of the weather. You have an opportunity to come inside, keep the kids active.
Right, we're very fortunate, and you find that out in the wintertime when nobody can do anything, but we can come in here and start.
We'll have to work on somebody to take care of that parking lot, though, right?
No comment.
It's your assistant's job, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I meant to bring it back.
Are you Dean's the pitching coach?
Dean is the pitching coach, the assistant coach. He has just as important role. And I probably wouldn't have done this if Dean didn't agree to join me on it. So I am fortunate to have someone like
You guys have been coaching together over the years, or?
This will be our third year.
Third year, yeah.
That's it. But we seem to work well together. We do things pretty much the same way. So.
What got you into coaching?
Well, my son did 14 years ago, and here I am today.
I know the feeling.
And if my son didn't play a sport today, I would still be coaching. I love it, and I need to do it.
Well, you were a good baseball player back in the 90s.
90s,
That
was
so old,
okay.
doesn't
Did you guys win anything back there in the 90s? Did you ever win a championship?
District 10, John, are you just saying that because you...
Sure you won District 10, Tony?
Well, we didn't win
That's
District
right.
10.
You did not win District 10. The last time we won District 10 was 2002.
You're right, and I'm glad that you're here, because I would have stuck with that story, not purposely.
Do you tell your son that?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's good.
That was just what came out of my mouth. That we
Well,
won. We should have won.
that's one of our goals would be to win District 10.
Absolutely.
And win a region championship. And speaking of regions, where are you guys playing this year? You're going north or you're going south? Because we're always in the middle. And sometimes we have to play the McDowells and the Erie Preps.
Right.
Other times we're down there playing in the Grove Cities and the Hickories.
We are going south this year.
Okay.
And we are in Region 4. Oil City, Slippery Rock, Grove City, Hickory.
More like schools. You don't have to play the big boys, the McDowells with the 800 students and the being in a class,
Right.
and the Eries and the Cathedral Prep, the recruiting and all that. So
Well, we will, if we make it to the District 10
You'll
final,
play that
we'll run into prep.
okay, that's good. Bring them on, right?
Well, that's what we say.
You have to play the best to get to
Right.
be the best.
Yep.
Now, Dean,
Yep.
how long have you been coaching for?
Oh boy, about like Tony, started when my sons were real young. Started through the T-ball group and worked my way up, and I had an 8-year stint at Sagertown High School helping coach as an
How'd that
assistant.
go? Pretty good?
Real well. Yeah, we we were blessed with a lot of talent that came through for a small school that graduates 113 kids a year. We did pretty well, and I attribute all that to the feeder programs when the kids were young. We were blessed with some really good coaches back in the day, which I'm sure that everybody knows the names of Steve Sada, Jeff Carter, Scott Walters, Brad Wise, and I was just fortunate enough to be along for the ride on some of the teams that they coached. Brandon Crum, Tim Crum. I was blessed to pick up on some of their coaching habits.
You come out of the Sagertown tradition of baseball.
Absolutely, yeah. And
which is very good.
Eat, sleep, and breathe baseball out there, yeah.
So when Tony asked you to come along, how long did you ponder about doing it, or was it a quick yes?
It was within a week, maybe 2 at max, and it was funny how it played out. It was ran into him at a
Christmas party.
New Year's Eve party.
Was it New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, and I think he might have caught me with a couple adult drinks in me and twisted my arm, and we hooked up again a week later, and I said, yeah, I'm in. And that was when, Bruce was still with the program, so, Bruce was kind enough to bring me on to the Meadville program and welcome me with open arms as a Sagertown guy, so I thought that was pretty cool. And,
you're stepping up then.
I am, yeah.
Is it kind of weird actually coaching for Meadville?
It is, yeah, because obviously through the years, it was always a big rivalry. Obviously, Sagertown was a small school, but we did still play them occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally, and usually won.
Yeah, we...
Go ahead, say it. You can say it.
Yeah, we did. We won quite often. And that was, again, the luxury of the talent level we had back then. When my son was a senior, we had 7 kids from his class go on and play college baseball. And that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
like you say, from a school that graduates 113 kids.
Right. It's really impressive. Yeah.
How many of you guys won quite a few D10
championships? We won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't win at my son's senior year. So that was disappointing. But 3 in a row, it's still kind of cool.
He still has that to go out with him, though.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't complain about that.
No.
It's something that they can't take away.
Absolutely. And I still see a sweatshirt running around town occasionally when I'm at the grocery store. 3-time District 10 champs. So still puts a smile on my face. And that's the goal here now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, get it back to that point. With you guys coaching. How far do you think this team can go? I mean, it's a young team.
I think we can go, we can win, we can go far, we can win the region, we can get in District 10 final. I've always been the type of coach, young doesn't bother me. If I had 15 freshmen on the field and that's the best we had, then that's the team we're gonna win with.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the mindset you have to put into the kids, and you start at a young age, it doesn't matter how old you are. You compete.
What's your philosophy towards the game? Are you going to play long ball, small ball?
We will probably do a little bit of both.
Okay.
I'll start there. A little bit of both.
Yep.
I've always been the type of coach, I like to score a lot of runs. I've never been a huge small ball guy.
Right.
But it is part of the game, and you have to use it to be successful in
Based on the
situations.
talent that you have, that's how you go. Because you're looking at your roster, I see there's not a lot of seniors. You only have 4 seniors and 2 juniors, so you are definitely loaded on the young end, sophomore and freshman. Dean, the pitching philosophy, the kids, the fastball, change up, can they throw sliders? I hear them always talking about it. I don't know if,
As you look at the sheet, and the P on the left is all the kids that we have throwing bullpens currently.
Well, that's pretty impressive,
So
because
we have
that's almost
13 pitchers. Or 13, let me rephrase
13
that. We have
arms?
13 kids that throw. We're trying to develop a few into pitchers.
Okay. Do you have somebody that you consider an ace of the staff at this time, or is it wide open?
I would say our ace on the staff is currently on the shelf with an arm injury, and that's Jake Smith. I foresee him potential to be District 10 Pitcher of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to his arm? Anything serious? Or
We're not certain. It's just been hurt for a while.
We would really like to know that answer.
Okay.
But we put him on the shelf and said, don't throw for a while. So.
I know Jacob can throw the ball hard.
Yes, he
He can throw it hard.
In a game, I managed the Legion team for 6 years, and one of the things I always saw was if you can avoid errors and walks, you can win a lot of baseball games.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So you want to have a pitching staff that has control. And
Yep.
Do you call the pitches, or do your catcher call the pitches?
I typically call, yeah. I like having that control and setting up hitters. Yeah,
I used to sit in
definitely.
the corner so I could blame the catcher when they hit a home run. Just let him
Isn't that what you said earlier?
I did say that.
Who's the catcher? Do you have a couple catchers or?
Owen Garvey's going to
Oh,
probably be our
Garvey.
starting catcher.
Okay.
Kayden Haleeva would be his backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because both will be
Both be pitchers.
towing the rubber a little
Right.
bit, so we'll have to have both of them back here from time to time, so, yeah.
Strong arms, the catchers?
Yeah, I think we're real good there.
Okay.
We should be able to keep opposing teams running games at a minimum.
Do you work a lot on the technique of holding runners on base? And is that a big thing? You know,
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times, who they steal on, it's not the catcher, they steal on the
the
pitcher. If the
pitcher.
pitcher can't keep the guy close, forget it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Right.
matter who the catcher.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah, so slide step with the pitcher is
Okay.
huge, yeah.
How do you think your infield will do?
Our
Just, I mean,
infield-
you're coming in, you don't know exactly who, you know some of them that are gonna be
He
starting.
has a good
there.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, my philosophy is make the plays you should make.
Yeah.
I don't need superstars. I need kids in the infield that are going to make the routine plays, and whoever that may be. Like Dean and I have talked a lot. If you come to the games this year, the first 5 or 6 games, you may see a different starting infield every game, which is a good problem because we have a lot of kids that can play all those positions in the infield.
That's good.
And right now, we don't have.
You don't have a Nick France type of player.
We don't. We don't have somebody that I say, well, that's my shortstop.
Right.
That's my third baseman. That's my second.
Got
It's a
a
good
lot of
problem to
utility
have.
people.
We
We
do.
do.
We have a lot of athletic kids that can play where we put them. So.
And with
that's-
many kids that pitch, we'd have to do a
That's
lot of
right.
that plug and play.
Right. In and
Yeah,
out.
you might start the game at third base, but you're probably gonna end up on the mound at some point, so, yeah.
Do you, anybody consider a team leader that's come out through your early spring training, so to speak, winter training, that seems to be a team leader that can, I know these kids pretty well. I know they're
Sure.
kind of quiet.
We do,
Anybody-
we have a very vocal kid on this team that's been coming all winter. And as of right now, I would say he is the most vocal leader that we've had this last 2 months. Now, when we get outside,
Wait and see what's
we'll
going to
wait
be.
and see.
'Cause I know a lot of your kids, and they are kind of quiet.
Right.
I
And
don't
that's,
know, I watch the basketball teams, the same thing, they're quiet. You gotta play sports with emotion, don't
Well,
you think?
and
Even
it'll-
baseball.
Some kids can, but some kids can't.
right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some people feed off of it, some people, when they get emotion, it just screws them up.
Right.
So,
We will have fun on the field, and we will be a rah-rah type baseball team. I
Good.
promise you that. It's always been my style. Dean
That's how I
likes
like
it.
it.
Yeah, I mean, let's go out and have fun. And when you're in the game and you're engaged and you're cheering or you're doing this or doing that, you're gonna play better. I don't
my
care what
son never
anybody
was
says.
like that. He was just always like under the radar.
Yeah.
But lead by example.
Scores by a goal and just walks away. Doesn't even, that's just like a Troy Polamalu. When he made a tackle, he just walked away. Doesn't
There
really
you
say-
go.
Yeah.
Let your play do the talking.
Who do you think's gonna be the best hitter on the team? Power. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
That's a tough
Want
one.
me to answer that, Tony?
That is a
for you?
tough one.
Well,
I'm not the manager, you are.
We got a couple candidates, I think.
we do, and you know what, I'm gonna give Jordan Young, he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
His swing right now in the winter, he's a big kid, he's a strong kid.
Pure?
Yeah.
He's pure, he's come up through the system, he's swinging really good inside. Owen Garvey's another one, he's swinging the bat.
I
good
watched him over the
inside.
summer. We did a game when you were coaching, when Mike Fiorello and I, we did it.
Legion.
Right.
Legion,
Yeah, we did it, and he swung pretty well.
That's right, we founded French Creek Valley. That's
You
right.
did, too?
Zero town, that's right, yes. I think we 10 run, or was it 15?
You were actually
run?
quiet that day.
Yeah, I didn't have nothing to worry about. Let the kids
Had it
do
on
the
cruise
talking.
control.
Yeah, let them take care of business.
But we do, I'm not gonna single out one or two, but those two come to mind. But
Yeah.
you know, you've had kids in here for 2.5 months and they're swinging the bat 50 to 70 times a night when they're in here. and we're working on certain things every night, and they're putting the work in.
How many days a week are you been practicing? That's
Four.
good. Yeah, I drive by the facility a lot and live around here, and there's always.
And it's been the last 2.5 months, that's when you started?
We've been rotating some kids in and out, pitchers and catchers, and then off nights, maybe a different group of kids will come in. March 8th is our tryout, and that's when we can officially
What
start.
is your numbers like?
They're up a few from last year. When I say a few, I mean maybe 2 or 3, and I'm looking to, we'll probably have 20 kids this year, which isn't bad.
Will
18
there
to
be
20.
a JV team?
There will be, but it's gonna be some of the kids that are playing, getting varsity time.
Well, you only have so many kids.
Right.
No, that just benefits them later down.
Absolutely.
So,
Because numbers are down in baseball, correct? I mean, Little League.
they are,
I've
and
talked to Bill Dithridge, and he says it's not good.
they went down, and that's another thing that we're gonna get involved with is MAYBS.
Good.
And Bill Dithridge, he does a great job. He always has. He was up there when I was little.
Yes.
And we need to get, the younger kids need to start going up there and playing baseball.
It's one of the best games. It's a game when you fail 7 out of 10 times, it puts you in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
I mean,
And it's just like
Yeah.
getting involved when they're young. That's good because you're bringing them up through, just like Mark McGowan did when he took over. Look at the teams that he just brought through. They were successful in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Right.
And it just helps them out. This year they just don't have size, but I mean, it's just gonna help you guys out in the long run.
Can't put enough emphasis on
Right.
feeder programs.
You're right.
That's
So-
where
do
athletes
you
are
have
going.
any other gentlemen helping you coach?
We do. Don Forzowski, he is helping at the varsity level.
He was a good ball player in his
He,
day.
he was a good ball
Yeah.
player, live arm.
Yeah.
So he's been coming in and he helps the kids with hitting, doing drills that I've
I
set
saw
up.
him one time walk the bases loaded and strike out the side.
Yeah, that was his game.
I
And he
mean,
can do it.
That's a lot of pitches, right, Dean?
That's a lot of pitches.
Can't do that nowadays.
Well,
Well-
speaking of pitching, do you have a pitch count on these kids?
We do,
A lot
yeah.
of rules for them?
Well, yeah, and Coach just went to the meeting last night, the rules interpretation meeting, so we know the actual
The new.
new
well,
pitch counts.
Are they pretty,
They're okay.
They're
Yeah.
okay?
They're okay. It's,
Do you have to have so many days rest between starts, or is it so many
Depending on
days
number of
rest
pitches
between how
you
many
threw.
pitches they throw?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
you can throw 25 pitches and come back tomorrow and play. If you throw 26, you're out of that.
Yeah.
50,
Well-
so, it goes up.
But that bodes well for us, Meadville, because, I mean, obviously what you guys are doing, I look at this,
Right.
almost every kid's gonna have an arm. I
Right.
mean, he's gonna go out there and throw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If he can throw strikes, he can be
And we're gonna need every one of those once the weather gets a little yucky and we got games stacked up on
back to
top of
back
each
to
other.
back to
Yeah.
back. I think, looking at your schedule, I saw you telling me you're going down south. A lot of those fields are a little bit better conditioned than ours, because their weather changes a little bit quicker than
right.
ours.
They
So
are.
that might be beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Do you have any games on artificial turf or anything, do you know, of any of those schools?
We do
I think
not.
Hickory has turf, if I'm
Hickory.
not mistaken.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure they do, yeah.
I heard they do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well,
think
that's
they do.
good.
Well, there you
Maybe
go.
we'll play them first. So we
Well, I
get a
used to
game.
laugh, and what, the weather's like here. Baseball starts March 8th, it was 2
Yeah.
feet of snow. Look at the field right now.
It looks like an ice rink
looks
out
like
there.
an
in
ice rink.
infield.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that all changes soon.
Right.
So,
Having your son play for you, good, bad, you like it?
I like it, but
You're not too hard on him, are you?
no. I treat him maybe a little harder than some of the other kids because, a lot of people may say, oh, you're lucky your dad's the coach. Well, you're not. You're not lucky.
Right.
And sometimes that kid, that son, your son, if you're the coach, it's harder on him.
Or your son is probably one of the better players and he's batting first and playing shortstop, and then the other mother up in the stand, how come he's doing that?
Exactly, right.
Well,
So,
because he's better, that's why.
well, that's it. And then, when my son gets the opportunity to play, which he will, he will, we're young, it's because that's what we think is best for the team.
I was looking over your roster, it seems you have a lot of team speed.
We do. We've been talking about that. We're going to attempt to steal a lot of bases this year. Attempt.
Well, you can't steal first.
I understand that. We have to get on base.
I was
Some
looking
of these
at-
kids are probably faster than you were, Tony.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't know about that, but maybe. I hope so. I hope.
Were you all district player when you played?
I was, and back when Legion was the thing, the East-West All-Star game I made in Harrisburg
And you played baseball in college.
at Lock Haven, and then
That's
separated my shoulder, and that was it.
That was it. Then you went over like the rest of us bums and were starting Lincoln Ave. Right?
Yeah, Lincoln Ave,
And then he retired too early.
Do you guys use aluminum or wood?
aluminum,
Aluminum.
BB core.
Okay. Did you use those when you played?
We used aluminum,
Regular?
just the old school.
Did you see those bats giving a lot of more pop to the ball, or
They do have pop, but, I mean,
not like the?
I'm swinging the other night, I mean, they're like boat anchors, they're heavy.
Right, they're heavy.
You know,
Okay.
so,
Because in Legion, you will be using wood. You're going to be the Legion coaches too, correct?
correct,
Good, thank God.
yeah, so, all summer.
They're taking over for the Legend.
No,
Right?
yeah, in my mind, that's
We got
only
big
mine.
shoes.
Big
to fill.
shoes.
Big
That's
shoes.
right.
Yeah, Joe Ferguson's. Do you get a lot of support from your boosters?
We do, and this year, we have some new boosters that joined, and Heather Young is the president of the boosters, and she does a great job.
That was a
And
leading
she's-
question because I knew she's a tiger.
She,
Oh, yeah.
she does a great job, and things are gonna happen to the field, and we do fundraisers. We're doing a spaghetti dinner fundraiser at the ICC coming up.
What are you going to charge it? $10 a
$10 a
Okay,
ticket.
make sure everybody out there see baseball players will be selling those
Yeah,
tickets.
we'll be selling them, starting next week. We'll be selling tickets, so, but we're trying to, piece by piece, do upgrades to the field, to the barn.
Because I know Heather, she's a worker,
She is, yep, she does. a
and you
good
need
job.
a good booster to support your team.
Sure.
Because without it, I mean, there are people out there raising the money.
Right,
It's
and we
impossible
can't,
for you to.
we won't have this nice stuff if it
Right.
wasn't for boosters.
Absolutely.
You have new uniforms.
Same.
Same?
Same uniforms, yeah.
What's going to change, you taking over from what Bruce used to do? Anything different?
Few things, just a few things that are our way. I don't know how to explain that or how to.
I can
mean,
see one thing, the hitting facility sure looks
The
nice.
hitting facility looks nice.
No offense, Bruce, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it all comes down from Heather. I mean, helping
Right,
out and stuff. I mean,
right.
when she goes all in, she goes all in.
That's
Yeah,
right.
she
That's
does. Yeah.
Does, do you have alumni, any alumni that come back and help, or be something you might like to develop? Because we have a pretty good baseball tradition in Meadville,
We
too.
do. It could be down the road, and even a few of the guys that I played with back in the 90s in high school. I have approached one or two of
Have you
them.
talked to Todd at all? Have you played with Todd? And-
I have talked to Todd Erdos, I've talked to him a few times, and I think when it works out, you'll see him up here when it works out, maybe, here and there.
It's just maybe for the kids, we had a Major League Baseball player
Right,
come out of this
right.
place, he played
Yeah.
on this field, but I think that would be nice for
Sure.
for our young guys to see.
Yeah.
When's your season actually start?
Games?
Games?
March 20th is our first scrimmage at Harbor Creek. How's that? It'll be warm. It should be like 70 up there.
Yeah, the wind will be blowing, it'll be
I
70
remember
below.
some days it'd be
possibly.
50 down here, and you go up there, it's 25.
Right. So, but
That'll be a good test, they have a good baseball program, Harbor Creek.
I spoke to their coach, and they are senior heavy this year. They have 12
They
or
beat us
13
in basketball and they beat us in football, so they have a whole group of kids, small schools,
Right.
like, they get a group and they go through, and they can play all the sports.
Right. Yeah,
How
they'll
many
be
games,
good.
how many games do you have?
We have 20 games, 16 region games, 4 non-region. We were lucky enough to schedule McDowell on our
Good.
schedule. We have Mercier's Prep twice, Girard. We play them. Them are non-region games.
Is there any worries about the awful C word, the COVID? Is there any restrictions that you guys have to have?
Last night at the rules meeting, it was just last night, PIAA hasn't announced anything like mask wearing. And from the way they made it sound, a lot of it's gonna be school district. If PIAA sets a whatever, stipulation.
You have to follow it, obviously.
You do, but if the school district, they can be more strict, but they can't be less strict.
And see, I've seen that
Yeah.
on basketball. Some teams all of them are wearing masks.
Yep.
Some teams don't even wear them at all.
Some places have fans, some places don't.
Right.
We weren't affiliated with Legion last year, but all summer we played baseball.
It was great.
We were in the dugout, we were high-fiving, hugging each other,
Right.
the whole deal, there was nothing, nobody got sick.
Right.
I don't know, maybe we were playing with fire, I don't know.
Well,
It worked out.
just hope everything works out this year.
Yeah.
More, the kids need to get back to some
Oh, yeah,
normalcy.
we could have a whole show on that, couldn't we?
We could,
I mean,
so.
you feel for I feel for Landon and
The seniors last year.
And Drew and Spidey.
Yeah.
Those kids, they put all this time in their senior year, gone.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It is.
Oh, and it's nice that these seniors like that, who do you have? Tyler Blood, Jake, Aaron Lee, and Ray Rodriguez. Only have 4 seniors.
4 seniors.
Okay. How's Tyler Blood doing for you?
He'll run through the wall if you ask him.
Yeah, he will.
What's his nickname?
Sarge.
Sarge.
Tyler's a good boy.
Yeah,
He's
he is a
good
good kid.
How about Mr. Lee? How's he doing?
He's good.
Yep.
He's Mr. Lee.
Okay. How about Ray Rod?
Ray Rod's he just started coming last month.
Yeah.
Works, but he comes in, he puts his work in.
Good.
He's a good kid. He's quiet. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him.
Now, looking, you have only 2 juniors, Kayden Haleeva and Carson Mcgowan.
Both of them, Kayden and Carson, their work ethic this winter has been tremendous. They come in, they get their work in, they want to get better.
Now Kayden could play, he's like a utility, he could play anywhere,
Play
right? He can
absolutely.
pitch, catch, third base, second base, he can play anywhere, right?
Except the outfield.
Outfield, okay, well, you keep him out of there.
Well, I'm sure he could catch a ball. I just don't know
Right.
about his foot speed yet.
How about Carson, what position would he be playing?
Carson is an outfielder / DH.
Okay. I mean, he hit that home run last year for your junior Legion team,
Yeah,
right?
with a wooden bat.
With a wooden bat, that's a good poke.
That is.
Where did he hit that, left field?
Yeah, left center.
Yeah, that's what, about 310,
It's longer
longer than
than
that?
Yeah.
325 down the lines.
Okay. Sophomore wise, I'm looking, Isaac, if I remember Isaac, he can catch, right?
He can.
He can
and
catch.
He can
pitch.
play a lot of different
He
positions.
can play.
He's one I'm excited about pitching wise. His fastball is about average right now. He's a swimmer, so he's tied up with that right now.
Right.
His off speed is absolutely filthy.
I was talking when I was managing the Legion team, Justin Ferguson was our pitching coach.
Yeah.
And he preached to the kids all the time. You throw fastballs all day.
Right.
That off speed is what gets it.
Right.
That's what gets you the outs.
And to circle back, you asked earlier, what pitches do they throw? A lot of the pitchers do throw 4 pitches: fastball, changeup, curveball, slider.
Good, that's good.
And Isaac is pretty special in that
Because
regard.
I think baseball, a pitcher, it's one game where, in my own opinion, is I think the old timers can still play. Because the physicality.
Right.
Football, good luck the old football players,
Yeah,
the
right.
basketball players compete. But I think baseball is a different game where a pitcher could dominate the game and keep you in the game.
And keep
Sure.
going, yeah.
And good pitcher, good catcher, have a good batter, and keep the
Yeah.
game in so you can compete. Now Owen Garvey, I remember him last year when he played Legion. Kid had a heck of a swing.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't get cheated.
He does. Owen he goes 100%
Yeah, and
all the time.
that's what I noticed of his. He had a real good attitude.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's hard on himself, I
Yeah,
think.
well, he is.
He is,
He is.
yeah.
But
And you would tell him, hey, you're not going to get hit every time.
Right.
If you do, you get the hell out of Meadville, go down south and play baseball, right?
Yeah.
See Gavin Beck.
Speed.
Speed.
Gavin Beck is
Speed.
fast. Gavin's an athlete. He works. He's been in here working all winter.
Who's better, Gavin or Landon? Put you on the spot. I'll take Landon.
Well, you can have Landon because he can't play anymore. So I'll take Gavin because I have him. How's that?
All right. How about, I see Jordan Young. You were talking about him earlier.
Jordan Young swinging the bat well.
Yeah.
We see him playing. He can play the corners. He can pitch.
Yeah.
And if need be, he could catch. We could throw him behind the plate. He's caught.
And if things go well, that's who I see maybe being our closer. That might be his role this year.
And that'd be nice because you talk about the pitching rules, 25 pitch. You can,
Yep.
Right.
closers, they're going to average that many pitches. Well, hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Come into the 7th and slam the door.
Is your philosophy you want them to pitch to contact a lot?
Absolutely. Our staff is not built to strike everybody out. That's not our
Right.
goal this year. So we want to pitch to contact, get a lot of rolled over ground balls.
And if
pop
the guys
flies.
make the plays, you're in and out. quick.
Absolutely.
You know, the pitch counts down, and
Yep.
you're off to. Yeah, that's.
I trust our glove work enough that
Yes.
let
Yeah.
him put the ball in play. Yeah.
I don't know Ian Gosnell.
Ian Gosnell's a sophomore. He's been coming in the last month. He's played baseball up through the feeder program. Big kid. He has the frame. He's swinging the bat a lot better this winter. He's another corner infielder.
Okay.
And I mean, if he keeps working, he definitely could help us.
How about Amari? Now I know Marty Lewis. He plays football, and he grew up in my neighborhood. He's a nice young man.
Yes,
He started playing baseball 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And from 4 weeks ago to last night, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The kid's an athlete, and he just keeps working at it, and he doesn't
He
failing.
has a nice smile too.
He's
Yeah, he does.
always
Yeah.
happy, always happy.
Always.
Then you go. I see you got Rocco, and I know Rocco's he's a good ball player. We had him last year. Watched
He's
him.
better than his dad. Just don't tell his dad.
No, he's
Right.
not better than his dad. We'll see, right? He's got a long way to go.
He's-
I don't want to say nice things about you, but you could play.
I appreciate
He
it.
could.
You could play.
Thank you.
And if Rocco can play as well as you, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not putting any pressure on the young man. 'Cause
Right.
He'll do what he has to do. Ryan Reichel,
You remember Ryan. Ryan he's a pitcher.
he plays basketball too?
He does not anymore.
No, not anymore. Okay.
Ryan's having a little arm issue right now, trying to get it figured out,
Okay.
but he's been in here swinging a bat all winter, putting his
What do you
work
think
in.
these kids? When we played baseball, I don't remember having a sore arm. You're laughing, Dean.
If you did, the coach would tell you, suck it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
How about now Heath Kleiss?
yeah, Heath Cleist.
Cleist, excuse me.
He's another freshman that he's going to play. He's swinging the bat well in here.
Live arm.
Out-
Coach
Outfielder?
Wood likes him on the mound.
On the mound.
Then he's an
Outfielder.
outfielder.
Now I watched last year the junior legion, Bryan Anderson. He impressed me.
Bryan
He
Anderson.
was hard nosed. He attacked the ball. He attacked the ball in the outfield. He was running down fly balls.
Oh, yeah.
And,
He plays the
can hit,
outfield like
too.
a wrestler.
and he's a football player. He's an athlete.
He's
Yeah,
an
he is.
athlete. Brayton's another freshman that you're going to see him.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see him.
And now Cam, he plays hockey, right?
Cam plays hockey, and he's a left-hander, which Coach Wood loves.
Salivating over that.
Pitcher,
Good.
first baseman,
Okay.
and he can swing the bat too.
Yes, he
Cam.
can.
Now I don't know these last two kids.
Andrew Markowitz is a freshman. He's come up through. He's grown a bit, and he's been coming in, and he's swinging the bat well in here. I just, like we talk, when we get outside, I want to see it transfer from in here to outside, and then we can start saying,
Right.
oh, well, this guy.
When
this-
you do live batting practice, who throws it?
Well, the good news is we just bought a new pitching machine
Okay.
on wheels.
Okay.
So that pitching machine's going to have a name, and it's going to throw.
Can it do off speed?
Curveballs,
Curve?
changeups.
These old ones, the kids would come in here, they'd be hitting,
Well, yeah.
I was 60 years old, I could hit them. They come to the same place every time.
But this winter, we were fortunate to have Dom, his
Yeah,
arm in
okay.
here.
Yeah.
He throws it about mid-80s. If he could get it over the plate for batting practice, it'd be a lot better. But
How many kids he hit?
he didn't hit it.
None yet.
Not yet.
Huh?
But
Was he up close with the L screen?
no, he was back.
It was
throwing.
bad.
Yeah.
Now, see, your last player's hitting the list has been coming, Shane.
Yeah,
Altman.
Shane Altman. He has not. He's a wrestler.
Okay.
And I look for him to probably start when tryouts.
Okay.
We haven't seen him. I know the kid. He was around last year. He played last year. He's got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
Energetic.
Yeah, you got, and the future looks bright, don't you think so,
Very
Ed? I mean,
much I do.
out of the 18 kids you have listed here, you only have 6 upperclassmen. That's
Right.
And that bodes well.
Yeah.
How about, do you know any younger 7th and 8th? Is there a 7th and 8th grade program?
There is. We have a middle school team this year, 7th and 8th grade.
Nice.
I look for about 15 kids on that team. We have Ryan Young, Dana Sheppelman, and Vince Tranga coaching that
Oh,
team.
good.
And they're good. The kids are responding to them. And I've watched a lot of those younger kids play. So
Will they have scheduled games?
they will. They're playing. It's a 6-week season. You'll have double headers on Sunday, 2 5-inning games on Sunday.
So they might be playing like Sagertown or Conneaut Lake, Cash.
I saw that there's Corey
Cool,
LaBeouf.
Okay.
Mercyhurst Prep.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a competitive club ball division, and
Good
the
help
kids.
when they move up
It
into
will.
the varsity.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's important, like you were talking earlier about the feeder system,
feeder.
the young kids.
I mean, it's nice that you guys have a facility like this, because when we were growing up, we didn't have that.
No,
We
right.
come out here and, you know,
That's
it'd
what
be
I tell.
cold.
That's what
Well,
I tell. the kids.
speaking of this facility, the people that were behind it, Rick Moyer, Greg Williams,
Yeah.
Lou Williams. I think Lou Williams was the head contractor, quote, a volunteer contractor. I don't think he put a nickel in his pocket. I'm almost positive he did. He's up on the roof. And Al Cronin, some of the guys that worked on this
I know
facility,
they
that was
donated.
back lots of time. And there was people that, you know, raised money. Rick Moyer was just instrumental in this baseball program. Back in the day, that field was nicer. Rick Moyer and Greg Williams kept that field nicer than Jerry Park up there in Erie. And that's a fact. People wanted to come here and play baseball.
Right. That's good.
And a lot of my kids were my sons were the benefits of that,
Right.
beneficial for that.
We'll get back there.
Yeah, it takes time. You gotta groom the field. You
Right.
you can't let weeds grow in the infield, right? You can't throw weed eater down and have it rain and destroy all the grass in the outfield.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a
remember
good booster.
Yeah.
that. We do, and
So that's going to help out a lot with the
Absolutely.
yeah,
projects outside.
I would expect you guys to drive by midsummer and see some
Here's
improvements.
do you have anybody that's gonna announce your games, like from the press box? It's gonna, you know,
We do not have a name. We don't have anybody yet, but it was brought up at our booster meeting. And if I'm missing something, let me know, because I may have
because I
forgotten.
think that would be nice. The kids like, you know, hear the
absolutely.
national anthem, you know, introduce them and let's go, you know, get some atmosphere
Why don't
for
you
them.
do it? You got a good voice for
Maybe I
radio.
will.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be able to do it if we do a game.
Well, I can do both.
Are you sure, Miles?
Yes, Ed. I'm multi-talented. I can multitask.
But yes, it would be. I mean, we have the sound system.
Well,
It's a-
I
you
might
know,
be interested in doing that.
That'd be
seriously.
great, yeah.
Because, you know,
Give
I
you
like
something
watching.
to
Yeah,
do.
that's right.
And you like watching baseball?
Absolutely.
You just
And I can't badmouth you if I'm up
I
there,
was just
right?
gonna say that. You can't badmouth. You can't badmouth.
No, I'm
Umpires are
gonna
still
tell you
fair
something funny. I always used to sit down here in the left field line, and Joe Risco was the coach. And I go, what is he doing? And kids don't know how to run the bases. He's got them run. What's he doing? Well, when you sit in the dugout, and Joe Ferguson coached third for me, and we see some of the things these kids would do.
Right.
You know, 2 outs, and there's a pop up in the infield, or now they're standing on first base. You know, the coaches have gone through all the signs,
Right.
everything like that, and the next thing they know, they don't listen.
No.
And you got to kick them in there. You know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, who's going to be the third base coach? You?
Yes.
Are you going to do what Bruce did with the?
I'm not. I didn't mind that. You know, Bruce it grew on me the 1 year, but I think Dean and I had talked, and it's just easier. I just like going back to signs.
The indicator and
Right.
steel. How many signs you're going to have anyways? Not that much you do.
Well, you know, if people are scouting us that are watching us, we're gonna have like 37
At least
signs,
30, yeah.
3 different
Well, I know in
indicators.
Legion, everybody figured out our signs in about the first inning.
That's because you would yell, bunt.
Yes,
We heard you up in the booth, by the way.
well, it worked.
So how much time you have to put into this? I mean, how's your family feel about you doing this, and with work, both of you guys? I mean,
Yeah, no, you know, like my job is my bosses are very good with it. I'd spoke to them before I applied with it, so, you know, as long as I get my job done and when I'm at work, do my job, they didn't have an issue with it. And my family, you know, my son, I've coached ever since he's been born, so he doesn't know any better. And my wife, she puts up with a lot. She does, and I'll give her credit where credit's due. She puts up with a lot, because when I am home, talking with Dean on the
Right,
phone,
right.
or I'm
Yes.
talking about baseball,
Yeah.
or, you know, you're down here. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes
You
in.
have to have a good wife to be a good coach or manager
Right,
or whatever, because they got to, they have to understand, because I know for a fact, after every one of my games, I was on the phone with Joe Ferguson hours, especially when
Right.
we lost.
Right.
Why did we lose, and
Right.
what we could do to make ourselves better.
Yeah.
I know one thing, your mom and dad will be down here watching, correct?
They will. They
Fine
were
people,
very
friends of mine.
excited. Yeah, they were very excited, and you know, they're real fond of Dean as well, so they were happy that him and I got to kind of pair up and take off.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let Dean answer the question about his wife. I know she's never been nothing but super nice around me. but,
Right. Same thing, since my kids were young, she's ingrained to it and used to it, and she turned into a very good short order cook. She can whip me up something quick at 8:30 at night when I get home, and she's great. I owe her a lot for putting up with my schedule for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Who has taught you the most about baseball? And don't say Miles.
No, it wasn't. I didn't have somebody. We used to kick his butt, though.
I mean,
We did.
who's taught you the most, that you could actually bring to the table this year coaching?
I would really like to say, well, Bill Alexowitz.
Yes,
I mean,
A to Z. That's
Bill
he
A
was
to
your
Z.
he was your junior league, senior league coach.
He was.
Yep.
Dave Carr.
Oh, Dave was wonderful.
Dave Carr was one of the, here's the thing with Dave is he'll
Black
get
and
you.
white?
Yes, and he motivates you. And so I owe Dave a lot of credit, Bill A to Z a lot of credit, and I had a hitting coach who will never see this show, I'm sure, at Lockhaven, Coach Kavanaugh. He was in my top 2 coaches,
So you're going to bring a little bit of what they taught you to the table.
Right.
What about you?
Oh boy, for me, I touched on a few earlier, but I would probably put my dad at the top of the list. He was
Yeah,
a ball
nice
guy
man.
all his life.
Good man.
Taught me a ton about baseball. And I'll circle back that I had the opportunity to coach with over the years, and that was Steve Sada, Jeff Carter, Scott Walters, and Brad Wise. I had the luxury of getting to pick their brains. Everybody did it a little bit different, but a lot of knowledge in that group, and I kind of carved out a little bit from each of them and try and apply it, when we're with this group. So, yeah, I feel blessed.
All the coaching I've done, on the football part, and I always believe, in order to be a good manager or a head coach of football, you still learn from your assistants.
Absolutely.
And you guys learn off of each other, right? See what's good.
Well, and it's who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I mean, and John and I were talking about this earlier. I like to keep my circle small, coaching staff. If there was 20 coaches that we looked at and they were all like us, then there would be 20 coaches, and I don't have an issue with it. But there isn't, and it's just,
It's easier.
it's easier because you're doing things the way you want to do it. You don't need to,
And you two are on the same page, probably 95% of the time.
We are.
most of the time.
Pretty simpatico.
Yeah.
We do a little good cop, bad cop
Yeah.
thing. I get to
With the-
play the role of good cop.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
I
He's the heavy occasionally.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
it
always
works
was-
well.
I always was the bad cop.
It works well.
Right. Well, it's,
Yeah.
you break it's okay to break the kids down, but you
Right.
got to build them up.
You want to make sure when they walk out of the dugout or this hitting facility, they're on top.
That's right.
Don't let them walk
And-
out of here down this low.
No,
Yeah.
and, you
Give
know,
them a positive to go home. with.
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to make mistakes, and that's part of the game. And everybody's going to make an error, and everybody's going to strike out, and everybody's going to do something stupid, as you would say.
Well, yeah, they're going to
But-
make mistakes. They're
Right.
not making error on purpose.
Exactly.
The only thing that would upset you is when I hate pouting baseball players.
That's,
Yes.
What are you
that's
pouting about?
right.
Right.
Effort.
Let's
Effort.
go, come on.
It's done and over with.
do you
Go on to
mean?
the next play.
Get over it. Yeah.
They're hilarious. They had these kids, they strike out, and they put their head down, there's no throwing bats, is there?
No.
You won't
no.
put up with that, I guarantee you.
They'll do it once.
That's it. I know.
Now, do you guys go to coaching clinics in the off season?
We have not since we've
We
been
have
on.
not, no.
Why do you need a coaching clinic when,
I actually, let me,
He's a phone call away.
I did have a coaching clinic last year when I helped with the Crawford Venango
yeah,
League. I had a coaching clinic
we had a
because I was in a
coaching clinic,
dugout
right.
with manager Mattilla.
yeah,
I learned a lot of things.
some good.
Some bad.
Well, we'll see.
How many games did you get thrown out, John?
A long time ago. I learned, Bill Dithridge said to me one time, he says, how come you don't argue with me anymore? I says, because you always win, Bill.
That's it.
Because the umpire, all the years that I've managed baseball since in the 80s, they never change a call.
Right.
All they do is, they're human, if you get in their face, they get mad at you, and then fortunately, that close pitch you think is a strike, it's gonna be a ball.
Right.
Or if you want it to be a ball, it's going to be a strike. So you learn to keep your mouth shut. And these guys, and we have pretty good umpires around. I think the thing about the umpiring around here, they're all, most of them are older. There's very few young
older.
guys.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, you have Bill Sherry and Bill Agnew and Bill Dithridge.
Bill Dithridge.
I think every one of them is over 65.
Yeah, I don't, they're.
The
they've
youngest
been around.
one's probably Jim Moyer, and he's my age, he's 60 something. So,
It's just like a lot of umps, referees, whatever, it's, the numbers are down in that as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of sad because you're getting these guys that are older, you know, how long are we gonna be able to keep going until?
George Schroeder was the one that
Absolutely.
basketball game, Meadville cash game. George's been referee at least over 50
He's in the
years.
70s, isn't he?
He's pushing probably to the 80s. I think he graduated high school in 1960.
Wow.
So.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
He's in better shape than probably all, well, maybe not you, me and Dean.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm not running on the court.
No,
Yeah.
me neither.
You have anything more?
I just, I wish you guys the best. As a Meadville guy, I'm very happy and proud of you two guys are running our baseball program.
Yes.
I see nothing but good things. I think these young men that we have are going to be blessed to have you two gentlemen as their mentor and as their leaders.
Well, thanks, we appreciate that.
We really appreciate it. Good luck in the season.
Thanks.
Thank
You
you.
know, for Mike Fiore, I mean,
Forget
cut that
that
one,
guy.
cut that one, cut that one. For Ed Marin and John Matillo, thank you for watching Sports Close Up.
Thank you.